Welcome back to the catch up here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel. I am James Lynch. That is not Cris Cyborg. However, that is a notable fighter who's going to be on Cris Cyborg's card coming up here at Bellator Hawaii. Emmanuel Sanchez back here in the program riding shotgun. Emmanuel, how are you, sir?
Excellent. It's a beautiful day in Milwaukee, but hey, it's springtime, so it's better than the snow and 0 degrees weather that we get here. So living good.
Yeah, and you got a big fight coming up April 23rd, like I mentioned there, Bellator 279. Just first, how excited are you to be fighting Yancy Medeiros? I mean, this is a guy that is from Hawaii. It's such a fun matchup. Just tell me your reaction when you found out about the fight.
I was surprised. I was like, oh, sweet, they're bringing him back. And I'm like, wow, he's a legend. Like, and all these other guys, man, that I've ended up sharing the ring with. It's an honor because I remember just myself coming up, thinking about that one day, like fighting at the highest level. And now that I am like having these matchups with all these other great fighters, it's an honor.
Yeah, and fighting on the same card as Cris as well. That must be kind of cool to, be a part of such a big card that Cris is headlining.
Yeah, because another one, some I've been watching. I remember like having my full-time job and being an amateur and seeing her kill it in Strikeforce. And then all the way up, right? Just like she's the female GOAT. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a stack card top to bottom. I don't know how you feel about this. I mean, maybe it's bittersweet, but your buddy Raufeon Stots supposed to fight Sergio Pettis, your other teammate. Pettis is out. At least they don't have to fight each other. But just your thoughts on Raufeon now fighting Juan Archuleta.
I love it. I'm like, because that's another thing. Me and Raufeon have been wanting to fight on the same card together for a while now. And it sucked because it was Sergio, but now it's not. And so it makes it that much better. And
yeah,
it's unfortunate for Sergio. I love Serge. I'm praying for him. I still talk to him every day. We still see him in the gym. I think it's just a sign that it wasn't meant to be. Like, it just sucks that, like, I was there. I witnessed it happen and what happened to him. And I'm just like, oh, no. And we were thinking and hoping it wouldn't be something so serious that would take him out and be this long, and it is, but it's all right. It just wasn't meant to be, and there will be other bigger, better fights. He's only 29, so like he's still so young right now. So when he comes back, he'll be killing it when he comes back.
A bit of a relief, though, for the teammates of Rofus Sports, because, again, it sucks that, obviously Raufeon was the one who had to leave. He's at Extreme, and I know, you don't want to root against a teammate still. I know Raufeon still considers himself a part of Rofus Sports. Is there a bit of relief from that end if we're looking at a silver lining here?
All of us, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it were to happen, and like this was going to happen, I would have just sat back and enjoyed the show and just golf clap for either one of them and still hugged them both and told them, I'm like, you guys are both fucking awesome. But everyone's super relieved that they don't have to now. So this is good. And one of my other teammates who just finished training with them showed me the brackets. I hadn't even, I don't stay too much looking on the media. Sometimes they're hearing or thinking of what's going on, but I see and heard that Gallagher is out as well too. So when I saw the whole bracket and how they matched it up, I'm like, that actually kind of makes this better and a little more. It's unfortunate for Sergio, obviously, and James Gallagher, but now when they showed the bracket and how they're going to do it for each of the fighters on each side, like, it does make it more interesting. So, I mean, things happen, man. This fight game is crazy. I mean, look, when they announced the light heavyweight Grand Prix, we wanted Romero and Johnson. We didn't get that. And then Johnson advanced, and then we didn't get Anthony Johnson to see what's going on. And I hope he's doing well, and et cetera. So, I mean, it's just the nature of our sport. It's wild.
Yeah, and just like you fighting Yancy Medeiros, I mean, it's just crazy because obviously, it kind of was, you weren't sure if he was going to fight for Bellator, what was going on with free agency, and here you are fighting him. I guess, one question I have is, you're moving up to lightweight. Is this a permanent move, or do you think this is just something you'll try out and then maybe go back down?
I'm sure a lot of people are surprised, but yes, it's a permanent move. I actually started at lightweight. I had my first 16 fights at lightweight. And at that time, when I was 18 to 22, 23, I never, ever would have thought that I would ever fight at 145, even though a lot of people told me I could. And that was only just because in between fights, I did enjoy myself a little too much and let myself get a little too heavy. But I felt strong. I felt fast. And then there came a time, which I was still young. I was under 25 and I was able to do it. I was walking around very light. Um, I was kind of going vegan, but that's only because it was my fast food. I was like working and balancing work and so training and a full-time job and more training, everything that was going on. So what I would do is I would just kind of just juice, like just fruit, fast food. Sometimes add some protein to that or whatever. I didn't consider myself a vegan or a vegetarian. It just so happened to be that way because I was always on the run. I was always just driving from work to the gym to here to there. And so I just needed just always quick, good to food sustenance to suffice. And I'd be leaving the gym 65 or less. And I'm like, wow, that's normally back when I used to earlier started to fight at lightweight, when I would be on a fight week. And I remember I used to struggle to even get to that. And so then I thought, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do 145 then. I can do it. And my coach, Duke Rufus, actually told me not to. He said, there's more fights at 55. And this was obviously earlier when UFC was still on Fox and Bellator wasn't as big as it is now. And long story short, I made the run. I did it. I was surprised I even made the weight, but then I went to get all the way up into being in one of the best featherweights in the world and still on the top 10 is what they have it, right? The best featherweight in the world. And now I know, and I can wholeheartedly say that's done. Like I can make it. I'm not going to lie. I can make it, but fighters need confidence. Fighters need strength. Fighters need speed, and fighters shouldn't cut as much. So I wasn't dying. I've never been hospitalized. I've never been needing an IV. I've never needed that. I've never passed out, thank God. So I've never had any of those other issues. So knowing that I can make it, but I cannot perform the way that I know I can. Now I'm going on 32 this year. And so I'm just coming into my full grown man strength, and everything is just coming out now. And I feel a lot more confident when I have the strength, really. Not even not a big size guy. I've never been a physical kind of guy to impose my will on opponents like that with just being a bigger man. I didn't even moving down to featherweight. I never had planned like, oh, I'm gonna just be the bigger guy there. I just my speed and my gas tank was always my thing, and it's just taking a toll on me. I'd rather have more strength and give up size and just be the faster, more explosive guy now and still have the best gas tank in the world.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's excited to see how you look in the cage on the 23rd, like I mentioned. You referenced at their camp. Who have you mainly been working with leading into this fight?
There's so many different partners now. It's awesome. Got a lot of up and coming kids. I mentioned my other teammates that are all coming up right now. Brian Bautista, Christian Rodriguez, another Bellator featherweight. It's been a while since he's fought to come out. Adil Benchelani, obviously another great friend of mine, Bilal Muhammad, who's getting ready to fight Vicente Luque. Obviously Gerald Mearshart. So I've got just a
plethora of different training partners. Yeah, it's great.
Always great minds as well too. So outside of just they say bodies or just teammates, it's just when you have guys, all of us, right? We want to accomplish all like the same thing. We all want to be the best in the world in our division and go out to be world champions and not being successful in what our craft and what we're sacrificed so much for. So knowing that we all have different styles, different backgrounds, different approaches to obviously our opponents, but also just to the game in certain areas, I just love it. I mean, there's so much to learn. And that's something that I'll always keep. St. Pierre always said it best. The white belt mentality can learn anything from anyone at any time. And I keep an open mind with that.
How's this fight playing out on the 23rd? I think this has got fight of the night written all over it.
Really? I appreciate that. A lot of people, have been telling me, man, this is going to be a banger and what an exciting fight. And I'm so stoked. Such a great fight for you. And yeah, I see that as being such a great fight. I mean, I know obviously he comes to scrap, and I'm just knowing that I'm in a position that, of course, I want to make a statement and solidify my status as now being, wow, this guy is going to be one to look out for now in the lightweight division. And yeah, going back to how I originally kind of started, um, being able to eat more rice now, like that's like a staple in my diet. So knowing that I'm like, oh man, I remember like, damn, I used to do this all the time when I would fight at lightweight before, but then cutting to 45, it's like what Connor used to say is just all salads, and now it's just steaks. So having to have definitely more fuel in the tank is man, that's what's making the difference. So I'm gonna pack a punch, and well, I'm gonna set that pace, but obviously looking out to just go having a dominant performance.
Couple rapid fire questions and we'll get you out of here. Everyone's been talking about this Masvidal and Colby Covington thing, the attack that happened this week. Just your thoughts on what transpired, and whose side are you on here?
I can see where Masvidal is coming from. I'm not like from the hood, but being a street kid, you got to say, like, when you just come from those kind of humble beginnings, it does kind of cross you the wrong way when someone sure does like to talk a lot in the media or on interviews, but then they don't have the guts to say it to your face. So that kind of says a lot about Colby. But I agree with Colby. You want to sell the fight. This is how you got to be marketable. And this is what you do. And love you or hate you, you're getting paid either way. And the eyeballs are on you. So, I mean, I see both sides to that. But as professional athletes now, knowing that me being a kids coach and helping kids all over, right? Just knowing that the next generation, that's a bad look. Because obviously didn't he get arrested for that? So yeah, it's not something that you want to do. And it's not something that I would encourage. I'm like, of course, someone talks that much about me on the internet, but not to my face. When I see him, of course, I'd want to slap the shit out of him too. But I just be like, all right, man, but I mean, he had that chance in the fight and it didn't happen. So that's why we get to do this. We don't let this happen, or even when we're just out in the street and then look at the repercussions of that. Like you get fined for that. You go to jail for that. But in the cage, you get paid for that. So you can go and knock a guy out senseless and get paid for it, as opposed to, oh, well, I'm going to do it and brag about it. And now look, I'm in handcuffs and who knows what kind of legal trouble I'm going to be in now because of this. And well, we just know in history as well, too, just in any, like for any athlete who's gone through it, I'm not going to say any names, but it's, I mean, you could get cut for that. You could like lose sponsorships for that. It's just not a good look.
No, well said. Very well said. Okay, we're going to make a sharp turn here on a positive note. You're wearing that Super Nintendo shirt. Any favorite Super Nintendo game? There's so many good ones back in the day. And I love, by the way, if anyone owns a Nintendo Switch, they brought all the games back so you can still play them.
Right. Oh man. Like when I saw some of those old school games, I got some for my nephews and I'm all like, you guys got to play these. This is the one that I used to play on Super Nintendo. And I still show them on that one too. And this is crazy. I think I got this at Target, and they had a Nintendo 64 one too. So I was like, just when you're, that's a real 90s kid. When you're you're born late 80s or even I was born 1990. So when 95, 96 and these video game systems were coming out, it was just like, what a time to be alive compared to now, right? With the technology and these tablets and the virtual reality stuff that kids are playing now, all this stuff compared to, there's nothing like Mario Party for 64, at least with your friends. But for Super Nintendo, you got to go with the classic. I mean, Super Mario World.
Super Mario World. I'm with you there.
And what a classic game. I think they had a lot of, and I still have them, X-Men, Spider-Man, remember this Terminator 2, other gun games as well too. Like
Contra 3 was my game. I loved Contra on the Super Nintendo. That was such an underrated game. If you ever played it, it's really, really awesome. So
really? Oh wow. There's another one. Man, it's actually, I YouTubed it. And it was crazy that I even did, but it's actually one of the top 10 hardest games for Super Nintendo. It's called Ghosts and Ghouls.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I played the arcade version. It's tough too. So
remember when I saw it in the arcade version, I was like, well, I've never seen that in the arcade version because it was different from the actual Super Nintendo version when I played it. But I'm like, this game is stupid. I'm like, I can't even get past the first level. I'm like,
yeah, it's so hard. So many people must have lost money playing that in the arcade. It was just, it was insane.
But yeah, wrong with the classics. And it's Thursday, so it's like what a time, right? Throwback Thursday. So I had to.
There you go. Good timing. Emmanuel, thanks so much for doing this. Appreciate everyone watching here. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, anything like that, man, I'll give you the last word.
Well, I mean, shout out to Nintendo, I guess, right? Super Nintendo.
Exactly. Where's the Nintendo sponsorship? Yeah,
like Super Sanchez. Like, I mean, Mario's my character for Super Smash Brothers on the 64. So I mean, next to Captain Falcon. But man, my shout out is obviously to all my sponsors: Perfect Sports, Great Mouth Guards, Diamond MMA Cups, Combat Corner, Freshman Pokey, CryoFit Milwaukee, Wisconsin Athletic Club. It takes a village to raise a fighter, and I got them all here. And now my management's got me with Pit Vipers. I would have.
Oh, I love Pit Vipers. I have 2 pairs. Yeah. I love Pit Vipers.
Oh man, that's awesome. So do I. So they hooked me up. Got a shout out to Pit Viper, Laundry Sauce, Shinesty, Whitetail Properties and Logos, man. So I mean, my management, Sucker Punch Entertainment, is really. I'm in good hands, and I'm just blessed and fortunate to do what I love. I mean, on top of. You get a lot of people asking, oh man, you're going to Hawaii and excited to go to Hawaii for the first time. And yes, of course, I never, as a kid, coming from such a small town and humble beginnings, you never would have thought like, oh, one day I'm, just seeing Hawaii on a postcard or on the internet and stuff like that. And now like, wow, I get to go out there because I'm fighting. So I'm grateful. I mean, given COVID and the times and just everything that's going on in the world, man, my heart goes out to the Ukraine and to Russia and to the United States, every country and every nation, every groups of people and every people of any walks of life, just peace and love and Hakuna Matata. God bless you all. That was another game for Super Nintendo too, actually. The Lion King. Lion King and actually they had some pretty dope games, man, back in the day. But I can't get too wrapped up in of just wanting to my fight, and that's all that matters, and just my desire to be a world champion and this and that. And it's like there's people out there fighting for their lives and needing to leave their homes and losing their family members and being separated. And it's just very, very troubling, trying times for a lot of people out there all over the world. So my heart goes out to them. And so my shout outs to them, like this one's for you. And I sympathize for you. And I kind of want to be like Bryce Mitchell, shout out to Bryce Mitchell. I want to do something good with this too. Donating my purse to finding the good causes and to helping the people out there in the world.